Hi, this is Kara. Welcome to Breaking Free Fridays, or welcome back if you've been following the series. It's really great to have you here. And today it is the day before Valentine's Day, and so fitting to talk about one of the most important relationships and loves of your life. It's one of those that we often overlook, and it can be easy to overlook, but I want to highlight it today. And that is your relationship with yourself and your own self love. And aside from our relationship with God, or however that resonates with you, if that's, creator or source or spirit, any, number of terms, fill in the blank, for what works for you and feels right for your own spirituality and connection. Aside from that relationship, the single most important relationship and love is that which we have with ourselves. And it seems so contradictory because we care so much for others, and we often are so focused on those important relationships in our lives. But I invite you to really think about the gift that is your body, your emotions, your thoughts, your spirit, your soul, your energy, all of that allows you to experience life and just any number of adventures and learnings and growth. And it's through that relationship, the quality of the relationship that we have with ourselves, the love that we have for ourselves, that everything else flows. So the quality of all other relationships then become a reflection of the quality of our own relationship with self, of our love of self. And I don't know if you're like me, but I struggled with this for a long time, and even rooted back into my childhood, where I definitely had a lot of issues around just not liking myself, really struggling with self-esteem and things like that. And that was in spite of a lot of external factors that would have indicated that I was doing great in life, but inside I wasn't really feeling that. And so it's a really good reminder that we get to nurture our relationship with ourselves, just like any other relationship. And so what exactly does that mean? And what does that look like? It can be so foreign for us. And so I wanted to share a few things that have been really poignant in my own journey, as I've moved from a place of being very disconnected from myself to a place of really thriving in that centeredness and that love of self. And one of the biggest things is really exploring, who you are, what you love about life, what things really fuel you, and also putting priority on self-care. And sometimes, especially for really giving souls, that can be difficult because we want to give so much to others, that then we can kind of deplete and run out for ourselves. But we can give so much more effectively and so much more authentically when our own cups are full. It's like that idea of an oxygen mask in an airplane. And it if something happens, it's critical that adults put the oxygen mask on first before their children. And that seems counterintuitive because you would want to, protect and help your children first. But the reality is that if you go down, they don't have anyone helping. So it's like that idea where really prioritizing, scheduling in those things that really nurture you. Maybe it's some time to journal. Maybe it's a hot bath every day, a bubble bath. Maybe it's, just taking a walk in nature. Maybe it's, going and doing something fun, a new experience. Maybe it's, having a cup of special like hot tea, or, it could be anything. It's just making sure that you're tuning in to what really fuels you, and you're putting that as a priority in your life. Your spiritual practice, things that are become part of your lifestyle that uplift the relationship that you have with yourself. And for some people, you might be thinking, well, this just seems really odd and weird, and I'm not quite sure where to start. And I always say a willingness is the most important place to start, because if you're willing, that opens up the door, and things can start shifting. And there are a couple of other really simple but powerful things that are practices that you can do to help really build that relationship with self. And one, the brain really cues off of questions. So if you are saying things to yourself, even if it's just in your own mind, like, what's wrong with me? Or, things that are kind of negative in nature. Start a practice where you're incorporating asking the question multiple times, even each day, where it's about, how can I love and appreciate myself even more? So you're assuming a baseline that you already do, and that may or may not be true in this moment, depending on where you are with that relationship with self. But this is huge, because since the mind cues on questions, it will seek to find the answer. And so whatever question you're asking, it's going to look for evidence and find a way to support that answer to be to be true. So if you're saying, how can I love and appreciate myself even more, that is going to reinforce things in your life that really bring that elevation to your relationship with self and love of self. Another really powerful one is spending a few minutes every morning and just looking into your eyes in the mirror, and really taking in the person, the true essence of who you are through your beautiful eyes, the windows of your soul, and just accepting that connection. And when you first start to do this, I'll forewarn you, it can feel a little bit uncomfortable. It can feel awkward, and sometimes it may even bring tears, because for many of us, we've kind of been disconnected from ourselves for quite some time. And so that reconnection, it can be emotional. And so little by little, building that practice will really help strengthen that connection. And that can be incredibly powerful. So another big piece is just reminding yourself that you are so precious beyond measure, and everything about you is just an incredible gift. It's so easy for us to take for granted how miraculous our body functions, our mind functions, even when we realize, hiccups or challenges, just how our body breathes, our heart's beating. I also invite you to really connect to your heart. Just put a hand on your heart and just breathe into the gift that is you and your life. And that can feel a little bit uncomfortable at first too. It's just with practice, these things are so simple and so easy and quick. They pack a powerful punch over time, and you'll see a difference in your relationship with yourself, and how that actually reflects the quality of relationships that are in your life in other ways, with family, with friends, with colleagues, with your partner, just every area of life. So before I close out, I just tomorrow is actually my daughter's 21st birthday, and so I'm just really celebrating her and that huge milestone. If you're familiar with the tarot at all, 21 is the world. It's like the completion, a cycle that is just a really powerful and important important season, and well, the world, and so it's that's kind of an exciting milestone. If you're enjoying these videos, please share them with friends and loved ones. Subscribe, send a like, and I would love to hear in the comments how this is landing for you. How is your relationship with yourself right now? Your love of self. And, what do you feel called to most in what we've talked about, or even in other things that maybe you've heard of or experienced that you feel is really going to up-level your relationship with you? And I just want to celebrate you for being here, for doing the inner work, for looking at ways to really strengthen your empowerment. And I hope you have a wonderful next week. Happy Valentine's Day. And here's to your next level of empowerment and breaking free. Okay, bye for now.